Welcome back. In this video, we'll learn how to find slope and intercept coefficient of a regression equation. So, this is PRF, that is population regression function. This is SRF, that is sample regression function. So, in order to find this estimated intercept and slope coefficients, we minimize the squared sum of error. So this is summation EI square. So basically EI is the residual term in SRF. So we minimize the squared sum of squared sum of residuals. So where EI is equals to YI minus YI hat. So this is SRF, and suppose the actual Y value lies somewhere here, okay, for a particular X value, and actual Y value, some other actual Y value lie here for a particular X value and the particular value of X. Similarly, a value lies here, a value lies here, or somewhere like these. So now we are doing what? We are just finding this distance for all of these points that we have. We are just finding this distance, whatever. So we are just getting their distance, that is yi minus yi hat. So since this actual point is yi and the value, the point that is on the SRF is yi hat, we are actually getting its difference, that is EI, and we are just summing the square of EIs and minimizing it. So we are basically minimizing our residuals. So we can't minimize the sum of errors only. Okay, so we can't minimize sum of errors only because sum of errors are approximately equals to 0. So from this figure you can see that some of some of the values are lying below this SRF and some are lying above this SRF. So when you just add these values, so these values, the addition will approximately leads to 0 because some of its value may cancel each other and the resultant will become very small. Okay, so that's why we minimize the sum of squared errors, not just the sum of errors. Okay, so we are minimizing summation EI square. Now we'll put the value, the expression for EI here. So that is yi minus yi hat whole square. This will become summation. Now this we'll just elaborate this yi hat here. This will become this yi remains same here. This yi will remain same here, and this yi hat will become b1 plus b2 xi. This is xi. So because of this minus sign, this will open up to minus b1 minus b2 xi square. So this will become a function of b1 and b2. Function of b1 and b2. Now, in order to minimize that, we'll find the first order condition. So the first order condition, this will become, the square will will come ahead, and this summation will remain as it is. And since we are derivating this expression with respect to b1, the coefficient of v1 is -1. That's why it is coming here in the multiplication, the usual derivative that we usually do. So now we'll put it equals to 0, and after putting it equals to 0, we'll just, this 2 and this -1 can go on the right hand side, and we'll left with this expression. We'll multiply summation with each and every term in the brackets. So we'll get summation yi minus summation bi minus summation b2, this is xi, equals to 0. Now what we'll do, this bi will, this summation yi will remain same, this summation bi will become nbi, and this b2 will also come ahead and will remain with summation xi. Now they are equals to 0. Now what we'll do, we'll just find the value of, we'll just find an expression of bi. This is, I'm really sorry, this is not bi, this is b1, this is b1, and this is b2. So we'll just find an expression of b1 in terms of all the remaining variables. So we have summation yi minus b2 summation xi divided by n. So by distributing this n in the denominator, we'll write this b1 as y bar minus b2 y bar, because this summation yi divided by n will become y bar and this will become x bar. So this is our first normal equation. Okay, this equation and this equation, both of them are known as normal equations. Okay, now we'll find derivative of this expression, this thing, with respect to b2. Okay, so we'll get this. Now we'll multiply here, this 2 will go in the right hand side and this xi will multiply it with each and every term here and summation also. So you'll get summation yi times xi minus summation b1 times xi minus b2 times summation xi square. So please do not make that mistake that you'll send this xi to the right hand side and make it 0. Please do not do that, because this xi have to multiply with each and every term, and now we have to solve for that. So okay, so after just multiplying this thing, we'll make some changes here. So we'll move this b1 out of the expression, so this will become b1 summation xi minus b2 summation xi square. Now we'll send these two expression to the right hand side. This will become summation yi xi is equals to b1 summation xi plus b2 summation xi square. So this will become our second normal equation. Okay, so now we'll just use these two equation in order to find the exact expressions for b1 and b2, that is the intercept and slope coefficients of regression equation. Okay, so now we'll substitute equation 1 and equation 2. So we'll get summation yi xi is equals to, so here we had b1, so we are just replacing b1 with y bar minus b2 x bar times summation xi plus b2 summation xi square. We'll now just collect all the expressions for which include b2 together, so that we'll find the exact expression for b2. So here what we are doing, we are just multiplying this thing with y bar and b2 x bar. So we'll get this, and this b2 summation xi square remains same. Now this y bar can be rewritten as n x bar, since xi, so this is capital X. Okay, so there it is capital. So summation xi divided by n is x bar. So summation xi will equals to n x bar. Okay, so there is a difference between small xi and capital Xi here. Small xi is mean deviation, that is xi minus x bar, and this xi is the independent the value, the random variable or the independent variable. Okay, so now we get this expression. So similarly we'll replace this summation xi with x bar, and it will become x bar square. This will remain same. Now what we'll do, so this is again yeah, So this is equals to summation yi xi. So because from this equation we were just equating this equals to this. So we were solving the right hand side till now, and this is obviously equal to the left hand side. So yeah, we will find out the value of b2 from here. So we'll just take b2 common and send this term here and just divide the denominator with this. So after doing that, we'll get this summation. So summation. So this I'm writing it here. Summation xi yi divided by summation xi square. So there they are mean deviations. Mean deviations. So that's why small letters. Okay. So okay, now when you divide the numerator and denominator by n, you will get the expression for b2 as covariance of xi yi. So you will have, okay, so this is multiplication. Okay, so covariance of xi yi divided by variance xi. So now, so sorry, this is not multiplication, this is comma. So this is basically covariance of xi and yi. So covariance of xi comma yi divided by variance of xi. Okay, so now, okay, so this expression, so you can rewrite or modify the expression of b2 into several expressions. So you can either write it as this, or you can also write it as this. You can also write this b2 as this, or you can also write this. So this will become sxy. This is x. So sxy and sxx. So this will become, this is just the of sample standard deviation of y divided by sample standard deviation of x. Okay, so not this. I am sorry. So this will become s of xy. This will become s of um, this will become s of xx. Okay, so you can use any one of them. Okay, so and according to the question, whenever you want to show something, you will use the right one, the right expression that you want to that you should use in order to solve your question. So pick any one as per your requirement. So these are the so now when you will get the value for b2, you will just put that value in the expression of b1, that is y bar minus b2 x bar. So you'll put the b2 value here, and you'll get an expression for b1. Okay, so now the greater the variance and sample size, the better and precise the estimators. Yeah, so from the variance of beta 1, sorry, so b2, variance of b2, as we know that this is equal to sigma square, yeah. So if we do not know the sigma square, so this will also get estimated. So this will divide by summation xi square. So when this, sorry, summation xi square, so now yi hat is equals to b1 plus b2 xi. So now we are just deriving an equation of this SRF in deviation form. Okay, so this yi hat is equals to b1 plus b2 xi. Deviation from mean, this xi is equals to capital Xi minus x bar, and yi, the small yi is yi minus y bar. So we can only use it if we have intercept in the model beta 1. Okay, so now yi is equals to b1 plus b2 xi plus ei. This is SRF. This is SRF. We'll just convert it into deviation form. So y bar, as we know that y bar is equals to b1 plus b2 x bar. Okay, so the first normal equation, now we can just um, subtract. So there it should not be I. Okay, so we can just subtract the second equation from the first equation. We can just subtract the second equation from the first equation to get this. So we'll have yi minus y bar on the left hand side, and we'll have b1 get cancelled, and we'll have b2 xi minus b2 x bar plus ei. Okay, so this will become, so this is a small yi. Okay, so this will become yi, the deviation form of y, and this will become b2 common xi minus x bar plus ei, and now this yi will become b2 small xi plus ei. Okay, so this is the deviation form. So this will become very useful in some cases. Now an example. So this is the data that we have. This is the predicted model that we have. Yi hat is equals to b1 plus b2 xi. So yi, the values for yi, values for xi, small xi, xi square, yi, xi, yi. So using all these data, we need to find b2 and b1. Okay, so as we know that b2 is summation xi yi divided by summation xi square, and b1 is y bar minus b2 x bar. So we have values for yi and xi, so we can easily calculate y bar and x bar from there, and yeah, we can put them here. So this we have calculated already. X bar is 120, y bar is 86. Now since xi is xi minus x bar and yi is y, this is capital yi, minus y bar. Now we have given here in the data value of, value of xi yi. So we'll just sum it over and put here. So we'll just find its sum. And I think that is already calculated here. So this is the sum. Okay, this is the sum that is already calculated here. So you will just put that sum here and divide by the sum of xi square that we also have already calculated here. So we'll get b2, that is 0.55. Similarly, we have y bar, x bar, and now we have b2 as well. We'll put all the values here, and we get b1, the expression, the value for b1. Now ei hat will become this 20, that is b1 plus I think there is some correction here. So this is basically not this thing. There is some typo here. So our consumption function is c, the estimated consumption function will be c hat equals to c bar plus byi. Okay, so what we do, since this is estimated, and this will also get estimated, and this will also get estimated, so since here we are just writing it as y, yeah, yi hat is equals to b1 plus b2 xi. Okay, so we are writing it as, and um, yeah, so this equation here, here this is not e, this is c, this is the ci. Okay, this is the ci hat, which will equals to, so you can just write the consumption, the predicted consumption equation as ci hat is equals to b1, this we can assume as autonomous consumption, plus b2, the marginal propensity of consumption, times the income that we have. So this is the equation that we want to write here. Okay. So now since we have the value of B1 that is 20 and the value of B2 that is 0.55 times yi, this is not mu I, this is yi. Okay, so now if we have the value of yi that is equals to 80, then our predicted yi hat, okay, so predicted yi hat will become 20 plus so you can just ignore it, this thing. So if we have a particular value of yi we as 80, we can easily put, this is c actually, sorry for these mistakes. So ci will just put all the values here. So we know what is b1, we know what is b2, we know we have the value of yi also. This is this. So you can actually get a particular value of consumption that is estimated from our regression equation, that is 64 for a particular value of yi. And yeah, okay. So estimate. So the estimation of mean consumption is this. When xi changes by 1 unit, then yi changes with beta 2. So when on average. So yeah, so their interpretation, the interpretation of this B2 will become as yi increase by 1 unit, the, or we can say as income increase by 1 rupee or dollar or anything. So I am assuming dollar. So by $1. So then consumption of anything, or so we'll just put it as consumption. Then consumption will also increase. So why increase? Because we have a positive sign here. So also increase by 0.55 units or percentage point on an average. So this should be the interpretation of this slope coefficient. Okay. So thank you guys. I hope you like the video.